You have accepted an assignment with Flowers Bakery here in London, Kentucky, and this will start your new hire employee orientation. We're going to begin by going over the good manufacturing practices, also referenced as GMPs. Flowers Bakery of London has established some good manufacturing practices to ensure that foods are produced that are safe and wholesome. Employee GMP training is very important, and it's consistently enforced there at the plant to make sure that a good, safe, wholesome product is coming out the door and that the program is successful. The goal and objective of all this is to assure that all employees are trained and understand what their role and responsibility is to make sure that they produce a safe and wholesome product. Today's situation, our customers, their customers, and the consumers of our products need to anticipate a safe and wholesome and superior quality product. If they don't, they won't buy what we produce, and then basically we're all out of a job. So it's very important that you follow these guidelines. We're going to jump right in and start talking about foreign matter. Foreign matter is anything found in the product that's not part of the formulation. It's not supposed to be there. Foreign matter can be introduced through any of the following. So it could be poor sanitation or cleaning practices, poor personal hygiene of the employees, preventative maintenance issues, inadequate equipment design, damaged or incorrect container use, non-observance of food safety practices, critical product zone issues. Critical product zones, any production area where ingredients or products are exposed. Products may most easily become compromised in these areas. A particular concern are the makeup and coating machinery, conveyors, and packaging equipment. If you notice a possible product exposure to a contaminant, you need to report that to your supervisor immediately. All reports will be investigated immediately. Everyone must do their best to ensure a safe and wholesome product. Critical product zone modification. In the following photo, you're going to see a guard, an aluminum guard on the Jim donut bagger that was added. This was to prevent the donut debris from being dislodged from the base of the scaler, that's the white pedestal, by employees stepping up to clear jams. The debris was falling in through some of the openings. In some cases, were re-entering the bag of donuts. This change was reported, or this issue was reported by an employee, something they noticed. They reported it to a supervisor. They immediately did a modification and was able to install this guard to prevent that from happening. HACCP, Hazard Analysis Critical Control Points. HACCP is a systematic approach to identification, evaluation, and the control of food safety hazards. Think of the critical control point as the last opportunity in processing that we can ensure that our customers get a safe and wholesome product. The metal detectors following the wrappers on each line represent the last point in the processing where we can eliminate a hazard, thus becoming the critical control point. Critical control points must be maintained, checked, and logged on a consistent basis to ensure that our products remain safe. This is an FDA requirement. GMPs help prevent all types of product contamination, and the use of metal detectors at a critical control point helps assure that contaminants are eliminated from the product. Color coding. It's very important that you understand how the color coding works in the plant and what each color means. White containers and scoops or stainless steel must be used for sanitary, edible, reusable food materials. Basically, it's human food. When there's any of those items are cracked, chipped, or frayed, they have to be replaced. Yellow containers must be used for sanitary, edible, but not reusable food materials. This is animal food. Gray containers must be used for non-sanitary, non-edible waste. So basically, that's your trash. Green containers are used for clean, ready-to-use parts for production equipment. Blue is for maintenance and storage of parts. This color scheme is the way we identify the containers for the intended purpose. Always use the correct color container for that purpose. Colors have specific uses, and you'll see examples of all those products here in the photo. What's wrong with these photos? Anybody got any ideas of what's going on here and what's an issue? Here's another example of an issue. Be careful, white containers must be replaced when they become damaged or excessively worn. Very important because, again, you want to avoid any foreign matter getting into the product. Another important color coding item is the label on all white ingredients, scrap, or cripple containers with the information written in rather than black. This indicates that it is an allergen line. It's very important that you understand what an allergen is. A food allergy is basically an immune response to a food protein. There's 8 really big allergens that most people have trouble with, and that's wheat, dairy, eggs, soy, peanuts, tree nuts, fish, and shellfish. It's estimated that up to 12 million Americans have food allergies. Treatment consists of avoidance of all forms of food containing the allergen. Our allergens that we use here at the plant, the most of are wheat, dairy, egg, and soy. Product ingredient labels must always correspond and correctly to include all contained allergens. If you bring a food allergen such as peanut butter from your home for your break or your lunch, make sure there are no traces of this material on your clothing or on your skin before you return to work, because you wouldn't want to cross-contaminate the product, and there'd be an issue there for sure. This is just some examples. Glass policy. No one may bring glass of any kind into the plant or the facility without exception. The only approved glass in the facility is that through laboratory glassware located in the QA lab. Gloves. When gloves are worn, they must be approved for use in the manufacturing area and sanitation area to protect the food equipment, food contact surfaces, or food packaging. The improper use of gloves or the use of unapproved gloves could contaminate the food. Hair restraint. Hair is considered a foreign matter, and we have to keep it out of the product. We ask that all guests, employees, visitors, and contractors wear effective, approved hairnets when applicable, beard restraints when entering the manufacturing plant or facilities. Your mustache must not protrude below the top lip. Long hair must be restrained in a plain scrunchie or elastic band. There can be no glitter or accessories added because there's a potential that could fall off. Hair restraints must be worn at all times, even during your break. Hairnets removed for any reason must be replaced by a brand new hairnet, and then you must examine your uniform closely for any loose hair, and you need to brush yourself off and brush yourself clean to make sure that no hair is falling on you. This is going to give you a good example of the correct way to wear your hairnet. As you can see, the hairnet has all the hair in it. It's covering the ears. The earplugs are inside. Everything's tucked nice and neat in the hairnet. I'm also going to show you an example of how not to wear your hairnet. Notice the earplugs are on the outside. We have hair falling out. This is the incorrect way to wear your hairnet. It's very important daily that you are putting your hairnet on correctly and you're ready to go to work. Hand washing policy. Unsanitary hands are a direct source of potential food contamination. All flowers and contract employees must maintain well-trimmed and clean fingernails that do not exceed beyond the tip of the finger or thumb. Employees' hands should not be visibly soiled. All flowers and contract employees must wash and sanitize their hands at the following times. So at the start of your shift, you're going to wash your hands. When you get back from break, you're going to wash your hands. When you leave the bathroom for any reason, upon touching any non-sanitary material, upon touching any non-food contact surface, that could be your face, your nose, your hair, or even the floor, upon consuming any food or beverage without exception. Now, it's important that you wash your hands correctly. You need to thoroughly wet your hands above the wrist. You need to apply soap and make a lather. You need to scrub each hand starting at the wrist, including in between the fingers, under the fingernails. You need to do this for at least 15 seconds. You need to also rinse your hands thoroughly and dry them using the hand towels provided at the company plant. Good hygiene will prevent the spread of infectious foodborne diseases. Examples: E. coli, salmonella, hepatitis, listeriosis. Those are all infectious foodborne diseases, and it's important that you report to the supervisor or the nurse immediately if you have any illness of any kind, any open lesions, any boils, sores, infected wounds. Some possible symptoms of a foodborne illness would be like fever, extreme fatigue, diarrhea, stomach pain, skin rashes, open sores, yellowing of the skin, cough, flu-like symptoms. If you have been diagnosed with some sort of foodborne illness, or again, you have some sort of illness that we need to be aware of, you definitely need to report that immediately to your supervisor. We need to know about that. Tobacco, chewing gum, and candy. This is something that we all use in our personal lives. Maybe not everybody uses tobacco, but typically we might have chewing gum or mints or hard candies. And when you come to work, that's something that you cannot do. So the use of or possession of any type of tobacco product, chewing gum, hard candy, mints is strictly prohibited in the plant or facilities. This includes the consumption of food, beverages other than water that's provided by the company out on the floor. So you don't want to have anybody out there. As far as your uniform, we have uniforms available here at the office. It needs to be a solid white T-shirt. It cannot be V-necked. It has to be round-necked. It cannot have a pocket on it. It needs to be a T-shirt that is clean and in good condition. If you have that on your own, that's great. If not, we have some here available. You must wear white pants every day. There is no exception. The white pants must remain clean. Must have those. We do have pants available here if you need them. If you have them on your own, that's fine, but they cannot have holes, rips, tears, and that's very important that we follow that at any time. Utility knife policy. Only approved utility knives can be used at the facility. Utility knives are often required to perform certain tasks. The inappropriate use of an approved utility knife or an unapproved cutting tool, such as a pocket knife, razor blade, or X-Acto type knife, greatly increases the risk of contaminating the food product. Jewelry and cosmetics. All employees, guests, visitors, and contractors must refrain from wearing any of the following in the bakery except for just the front office. You can't have any type of rings. That includes a solid wedding band, so no jewelry of any kind. You have to remove any piercings. No neck, ankle, wrist jewelry of any kind. This even includes a watch. No jewelry of any kind. Artificial fingernails, including acrylic nails. You can't have fingernail polish, even on your real nails. Artificial eyelashes, cuticle covers, lotions. You don't want any of that on your hands. You want nice, clean hands when you're going into work. Personal protective equipment, earplugs. You will be issued metal traceable earplugs. They have to have a cord on them, and it's very important that you don't just grab some earplugs you may have at home, or maybe earplugs you used on a different assignment. Those are not approved for Flowers Bakery. It has to be a metal traceable earplug, and those will be company issued there at the plant. And it's very important that you always use those earplugs and not bring any from home, or try to remove the cord, or do anything different with the earplugs. If you have any cuts or wounds and you have a Band-Aid, you cannot wear any Band-Aids in the plant. So no flesh tone Band-Aids, no tan, no clear. Has to be a company-issued blue Band-Aid that is metal traceable. Then you will need to wear a glove over that to make sure that is covered at all times. So again, no Band-Aids from home. It's very important that you get with your supervisor if you do need a Band-Aid, and they'll get you a company-issued Band-Aid. Thank you for your time. We're going to have you watch a video that's going to review a lot of the safety policies there at Flowers Bakery, and then we will finish your orientation and get you set and ready to start work. Good luck.